Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today I'm going to take a look at the Halland, and I'm terribly sorry for mispronouncing it. Now this is an upcoming Tier 10 Pan-European destroyer. And the ship is currently in testing, it's a work in progress.
Gun crews are on full alert.
And well, all stats are subject to change. Also keep in mind that those are just first impressions and this is not a review. And anyway, there are probably going to be changes because usually the first version of a ship is not the final version. That's why there is testing. Now I'm currently under attack from aircraft and as you can see the anti-air of this thing is quite decent. Now that's a T8 carrier. It's fortunate that the carrier is only a T8. Against a Tier 10 carrier it wouldn't look so good, I suppose. But you know, decent anti-air is already a pretty nice thing to have on destroyer these days. So, what's next? Now you just saw me launch some torpedoes here and you've already seen you have two options. You have a small spread and a very small spread basically. And I like that. Like the very small spread can be a bit tricky to hit stuff at longer ranges I suppose, but with I like the two options, because both of them seem to be rather useful. Widespread on most destroyers is something that you never really want to use. But here, both spreads have their place. Now speaking of the torpedoes have 15 kilometer range and they are fast. They do 86 knots. That's insane. They are spotted at 1.8 kilometers. But what's not so insane is the damage. The damage is 10,700. And obviously that's before torpedo reduction. And wasn't there just the most convenient gap there? As is usual, I suppose. So as a comparison, the set torps do I think 14,400 damage. And those torps, the Halland torps, do 10,700. So even the set torps do quite a bit more damage than the Hallands, and the set is not known for, well, doing a lot of torp damage. But you do have a good reload, and thanks to the fast speed and the 15 kilometer range, getting torp hits is a lot easier than in many other destroyers, I suppose. And I think that's the idea. The idea is that you get a few more hits in, but since they are smaller hits, they might be less frustrating for the one who gets torped and less frustrating for the torp boat because, well, getting more hits is fun, I suppose. Now anyway, let's continue. We have 6 kilometer concealment, which is not the worst, but definitely not amazing. And hey, I just got a cap and I got 2 torp hits, and you can see I've got 2 torp hits and I've got not an awful lot of damage. And that's basically what you should expect. So anyway, yeah, not the best concealment, but certainly workable. But you do lack a smoke screen. And not having a smoke screen means capping is going to be a bit risky. Now, inside the A cap here, that wasn't much of a problem, because I knew that the Kita cars and the gearing were not here, they were spotted earlier. The only thing that could have shown up was Terrible, and the Terrible can't smoke either. There was a Cleveland here with Raider, but again, doesn't matter if none of us can actually smoke. So, you know, in certain situations you can certainly take the Halland to go take a cap. Here once again, like the B cap, there is nothing here that should stop me from doing this. I'm fine engaging the Terrible in a gunfight, and there is no support. I'm not shooting right now because I want to get a little bit closer. I want to see maybe what we can do here. There is a carrier that might just be coming my way. I could have just already shot the Terrible, maybe I should have. I tried to sneak up on it a little bit more. There is Montana approaching there, so there's the carrier. I don't really want to get shot at by the Montana if I can avoid it, but I probably can't avoid it. Now, this ship is not the fastest. Actually, it's pretty slow for a destroyer. It does 35 knots. And it's also not the smallest. So, you can see the Montana just got a hit there into me. and I'm defending myself against planes. Now, while I can shoot down the planes, well, quite nicely, I'm obviously spotted while I'm doing this, and this is another problem because you can't hide in smoke. Like, if there was one more cruiser here with good DPM, then I couldn't have done that, then I would have forced to run away already. Because not having a smoke is really a downside. Makes a lot of aggressive play and camping just so much more risky. Now, add to that you are slow. It means you can't even run away from a lot of things. So yeah. And look at that, the carrier is back, but I might just be able to actually get the camp before he can drop on me. My defensive is on cooldown here. But I'm shooting down a few planes even without it. And I managed to get the camp. Now, as I was, I think, trying to say earlier, because this ship is slow and not the smallest, open water gunboating is not a good idea. This is not a ship where you, like with a Russian or maybe a French, you just want to sail around and try to shoot a bigger ship. You are mostly going to use your guns against destroyers, but since you don't have the best concealment, you can't really sneak up on them, and since you are slow, you can't really chase them. And since you are more a hybrid and not a gunboat, the real gunboats will just out-damage you, so bit of a weird spot. Your guns are mostly going to be used, I suppose, against other destroyers in certain situations, but you're not really a ship that can hunt down other DDs, so beware of that. Well, what else is there to say? Well, I mean, you do have a heal, that's always good. If you can't hide, at least you can get a few of your hit points back, because you will get hit at certain points. And, well, look at that, I found myself a lovely Kilometer Castle. So yeah, your guns are not too bad. As I said, you are more like a hybrid. You're definitely good enough to fight off some of the destroyers. I'm trying to ambush the ambush. So that I should be able to duck behind those rocks in case he launches torps, and mostly I just wanna gun him down.
The ship is on fire.
And I mean, you see he's doing quite a bit of damage to me too, but I got my heal and I've got the Kilometer Concealment, and now I can just run away here before the SAO arrives. Definitely don't wanna get shot by a SAO. And we got torps on the way. Maybe they will even hit. So overall, I have to say I had fun in this thing, although it's a bit confusing sometimes, because what's your role going to be, right? And there we got the SAO.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
So you will have trouble playing this very objective-oriented, as we've seen in this fight. You know, you can take caps, but you need the right situations to do so. It's a lot harder than like in a Shimakaze, for example. You are too slow to run away from quite a lot of danger. You are too slow to chase something like a Shimakaze. You don't have the concealment to ambush other destroyers. But you do have some very interesting torpedoes, and you can get quite a bit of fun out of torpedoing stuff. But then again, if you just wanna go for torpedoes, might as well play like a Shimakaze. The anti-air is certainly a welcome thing, and the heal makes it a little bit more forgiving if you get damaged. But the lack of smoke, I think, is really hurting. Overall, as I said, I had fun in this thing. And I just really have to figure out the perfect playstyle for it, I suppose. The ship doesn't have smoke is obviously a balancing choice, and they are trying to do something new, something a little bit different, and you know, it might just work. Despite the lack of a clear defined role, you can still take objectives at times, fight off other destroyers, and definitely just go around and torpedo things with your lovely 15-kilometer torps. So, yeah. I'd love to torpedo this Montana, but I think our Kremlin will be in the way, and it's bad least pretty much. much one. They're probably just going to ram each other or something. But you know, I can maybe shoot down a few more planes before it's all over. So as you can see, against the Tier 8 carrier, the anti-air is doing really lovely. I just realized that Kremlin is called Expect Me to Push. And interestingly, he's actually, I mean, it's at this part in the game, not sure if you can call it much pushing, it's just, there really is no reason not to just go all in at this point. And are they going to ram? Nope. Kremlin actually just devastated the Montana. So, that's nice. There is nothing happening anymore here. There is just the Minotaur and the carrier remaining with 920 points. And I'm just going to grab this cap and then it's gonna be over pretty much. So let's speed up the last remaining seconds there. So here we are with some results, and well, keep in mind this ship is in testing, expect there to be changes. So far I would describe this ship as fun, basically. And reasonably effective. So we will see where wargaming goes from here, and you know, might be an interesting addition to the game. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.